Hello fellow preppers. If you saw a wild black raspberry bush, which is what this is, that looked like this, at first you'd be thinking, yay, here I found a bush, it's easy to get to, there's still some white on them and there's some red, they're growing well, they're just not ready to harvest. I want to hike back to wherever this was and pick me some berries in another week or 2 weeks. But unfortunately, the bush is telling another story once you become an experienced forager and know how to look. See the leaves on here? This is a telltale sign of scorching. And there are also some holes where some bugs have gotten to it. One may have happened before the other. I'm not that good to be able to tell. This leaf here tells a story. See how all the different colorations on here, almost like it's getting ready to turn to fall. This has been scorched. You will see berry bushes a lot of the time, most of the time, along the edges of woods. A lot of the time, they're along a fence line, because that's where a farmer will fence for their horse pasture or their hayfield. Now these berries do look like what they look like when they're getting ready to come on. They're white and going into a raspberry red color, or they get the purpley black. But I don't know if I can kind of make this move on my ring. If you can hear that or not, it's hard. It's hard like a nut, like an acorn. Oh, and an ant just crawled out of it. It's hard, it's not going to grow anymore, it has been scorched, or there's something wrong with the bush because of all the bug infestation. And although there are leaves that have a lot bitten on them, there are some that look like just typical little bites here and there. So I don't think it's the bugs that killed this bush. I think it was intense sunshine this gets during the early morning to early afternoon, late morning to early afternoon hours. But this little berry is as hard as an acorn. Way harder than what it should be if it was still in development stage. Now there are some more bushes directly behind it that are also, if I can turn this up making you dizzy, you can see them beyond the fence line, which is closer to the woods. That area also gets intense late morning, early afternoon sun. It just beads down right here, and it was just too much for these berries, and we've had a lot of humidity, so that can kill your berries. Last year we had a horrible berry crop. This year it's come along nicely. Some are about 3 weeks ahead of schedule, but you can see this patch of berries here, which is never going to progress, and about 3 feet on one side and 15 feet on the other, the berries are great. The soil's the same. The location at first glance is the same, but it's a difference of where the light hits them. They've just got too much direct sunlight for too long. What I also want you to notice is behind it, over there where my dog is chewing, you can see some stinging nettles. And on this side, I may have to try to tilt down here a little bit, are some wild carrots. At least in my area of the Midwest, I often find wild blackberries, wild black raspberries, and even mulberries, often growing alongside of stinging nettle and wild carrot and ironweed. Unless you know what the ironweed looks like, you won't really notice what it is, because by the time that the pretty purple shoots come off of it, in the late summer to early fall, your berries are gone. So you need to learn to identify by the leaves, and that will help you spot bushes. The wild carrots jump out at you because they're pretty clusters of white. And if you're a forager, you might be hunting for stinging nettle anyway. So if you can learn to identify some of the companion plants, that will also help you be able to spot where the berries are. But unfortunately, this year, this berry bush is not going to produce. Last year it did okay. We've had a different weather pattern, and so your favorite berry patch might be glorious one year and produce nothing the next, and somewhere in between the following year. It all depends on the rain and the intense humidity. Now this gets the same amount of sun no matter what. We had a few really intense days scattered amid the rain and the humidity, so the combination of that just killed these berries, made them wither on the vine. This bush is always going to get the same amount of sun on a daily basis, but it's how intense the heat is during their specific formation stage that can make all the difference.